Thank you everyone for joining us. Minister McNaughton is going to start by making some remarks.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining my good friend and I, my good friend and the Minister of Finance and President of the Treasury Board, Minister Bethan Falvey, as well as Ishwar and Peter, who are with us today, and you'll hear more from them in a few moments. As all of us know, workers and their families have been really hard hit by this pandemic. They lost their jobs or had their hours reduced through absolutely no fault of their own. It simply isn't fair. And these workers deserve our support getting back on their feet. Throughout the pandemic, we have spared no expense to keep workers safe and support communities. At the same time, we have supported economic recovery and used every lever we have to improve services and create opportunities that help people land good jobs. Last week, Minister Bethan Falvey tabled our 2021 budget, Ontario's action plan protecting people's health and our economy. As part of this, we are investing an additional $614 million for training. And we are proposing a new Ontario Jobs Training Tax Credit for 2021. It would provide up to $2,000 per recipient for 50% of eligible expenses. It is estimated 230,000 people will benefit from this $260 million in support this year alone. Consider now what that means for Hope, a 27-year-old who lost her job. She decides to go back to school to start a new career, and her tuition costs $4,050. Hope would receive $2,000 from the new Ontario Jobs Training Tax Credit, making retraining a more accessible option to consider. We are building on this relief with more employment and training support because we know it truly makes a difference. In February, we launched the new $115 million Skills Development Fund. We asked everyone out there for innovative ideas to improve training during COVID-19 and beyond, because we know that training is what turns potential into a paycheck. And I'm glad to say to all of our partners, your response was overwhelming. From all across Ontario, we got more than 500 ideas and proposals. These include ideas on how to better help job seekers in these trying times, ideas on how to better help skilled trades employers take on workers and support their apprenticeship training, and also ideas for new and more effective training programs. To our partners, again, thank you for this incredible outpouring of innovation. Among the very first projects to be approved for funding is a proposal from Hamilton. The project will be led by the Canadian Society for Civil Engineering. They plan to help 150 people prepare for well-paying jobs in the construction sector. Construction workers provide essential services that build broadband, our future hospitals, highways, and homes. They play and will continue to play a critical role in our recovery and prosperity. Even as we continue our fight against this deadly virus, there is a demand for skilled people to work on job sites. This is why we're proud to fund this great project in Hamilton. The Canadian Society for Civil Engineering will work with McMaster University to train workers in the construction sector on designing, constructing, operating, and maintaining sustainable, climate-resilient infrastructure. This will give the people of Hamilton a great shot at the new jobs that will come with major investments in infrastructure in the Golden Horseshoe and elsewhere across the province. And it will help employers in the area find the skilled workers they need to grow. Thank you all for undertaking this important work. With partners like you in the innovation, expertise, and dedication you bring to the table, we can bring hope to our communities and help people get back on their feet. In the coming months, as vaccinations are rolled out and we turn the corner on COVID-19, the government will build on its plan to create strong economic growth. Hope is on the horizon. It's months, not years away. Until then, we will maintain our unwavering commitment to protect people's health and their jobs. With that, I'd now like to turn it over to my friend, Minister Bethan Falvey.
Well, thank you, Minister McNaughton, and good afternoon, everyone. Last week, I unveiled the 2021 budget, Ontario's action plan protecting people's health and our economy, our government's second pandemic budget, and the third phase of our COVID-19 response, which now totals $51 billion. The 2021 budget focuses on the two most vital priorities right now, protecting people's health and protecting our economy. La semaine dernière, j'ai déposé le budget de 2021. Plan d'action de l'Ontario, protéger la santé de la population et notre économie, qui représente la troisième étape de notre intervention pour lutter contre le COVID-19, qui totalise maintenant 51 milliards de dollars. Le budget de 2021 met l'accent sur les deux priorités les plus importantes actuellement, protéger la santé de la population et protéger notre économie. The COVID-19 pandemic has had an unprecedented impact on all of us. Many workers lost their jobs and are still unemployed. Workers in some industries, including hospitality, retail, tourism, have been more affected than others. So have women, youth, and racialized people. They lost their jobs because of the unprecedented restrictions on our economy required to keep each other safe. As Monty said, it simply is not fair. These workers deserve our support getting back to work. The funding support for the Sustainable Infrastructure Training Program that Minister McNaughton announced today means more technologists and engineers for our construction sector. It means more talent for Hamilton and for Ontario to design, construct, operate, and maintain infrastructure. The projects that we are funding through the Skills Development Fund will enable training and employment organizations improve the quality of training, better serve local communities, and support the talent needs of small business. This funding is part of the government's investment in the Skills Development Fund, which we are supporting with $115 million in the budget I introduced last week. We are also providing a range of training and employment supports to ensure workers have the skills required to support economic recovery. Now, for some people, that may mean exploring opportunities in a new industry. And in many parts of the economy, employers are hiring, including in construction, manufacturing, and long-term care. But this often requires going back to school, which costs money at a time when their personal finances may have already been stretched to the limit. To help workers with their training expenses, the government is proposing a new temporary Ontario Jobs Training Tax Credit for 2021. Pour aider les travailleurs à assumer leurs frais de formation, le gouvernement propose un nouveau crédit d'impôt de l'Ontario temporaire pour la formation pour 2021. It would provide up to $2,000 per recipient for 50% of eligible expenses. This is estimated to provide $260 million in support for about 230,000 people this year. We are building on this relief with more employment and training support because we know it makes a difference. 2020 was a tough year, and while 2021 will be challenging, hope is on the horizon. I want to thank everyone who has shown their true Ontario spirit over the last year, the business leaders and the workers who have made so many sacrifices, everyone who has pulled together to keep each other safe. We are truly all in this together. And together we will get through the pandemic stronger than ever. So thank you to everyone. And now I'll turn it over to Peter Calcetas, Vice President of the Canadian Society for Civil Engineering.
Merci, le ministre Bethlen Foley. Good afternoon, everyone. Bon après-midi, tout le monde. My name is Peter Calcetas. I am the Vice President at HKC Construction and the Vice President for the Ontario region of the Canadian Society for Civil Engineering. It is my pleasure to be here today with Minister McNaughton and Minister Bethlen Foley and Dean Puri as part of this announcement of meaningful training investment for our industry. At the Canadian Society for Civil Engineering, sustainable design, construction, and infrastructure are cornerstones of our profession. We are keenly focusing on ensuring that our members have the resources and skill sets to support their clients and project stakeholders. Advance sustainability in civil engineering and construction, along with maintaining competitive as professionals in a global marketplace. Our 1,400 members across Ontario and 5,000 members across Canada support civil engineering and construction in all its forms, from private development to public works. Our members also inform the decisions of designers, architects, and construction teams, decisions that impact the operations and maintenance of infrastructure for years to come. This is why today I am so pleased to see this investment from the Government of Ontario through the Skills Development Fund to create a training program to modernize the skill sets of our current and future members to support the sustainable growth of Ontario. This funding will support the development of professionals working in sustainable design, construction, and infrastructure, enhancing the ability of our members to incorporate state-of-the-art technologies and techniques to design, build, and maintain sustainable, climate-resilient infrastructure. We are proud to partner with McMaster University with a reputation and track record of delivering professional training through their W. Booth School. We know this training will help bring sustainability to the forefront of civil engineering. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Ishwar Puri, Dean of Engineering at McMaster University.
Thank you, Peter. Good afternoon. I am Ishwar Puri, Dean of Engineering at McMaster University, and it's my pleasure to join you today. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that McMaster is situated on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and the Haudenosaunee Nations, and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Thank you, Minister McNaughton and Minister Bethlehem Folvey, for your warm welcome and for the opportunity to speak today. And thank you both for delivering such great news and for your investment and confidence in our work. I know that our faculty members are enthusiastic to hit the ground running. And also warm greetings to Peter Calcetas. Peter, it's a pleasure to see you today. At McMaster, we're keenly focused on providing the best experiences for learners, including upskilling professionals who are already in the workflows. That's why we are very pleased to partner with the Canadian Society for Civil Engineering, Ontario region on a new sustainable infrastructure training program. This program will give professionals and current students the opportunity to learn how to design, construct, operate, and maintain sustainable, climate-resilient infrastructure that will support the growth of Ontario. The newly developed certificate program will provide training and resources to a workforce of nearly 540,000 people in the construction sector in Ontario and to the 50 municipalities in the province. Sustainable infrastructure training is a key step to ensuring that Ontario's construction and civil engineering professionals have the knowledge and skills needed to build sustainable, climate-resilient infrastructure. So today's investment of almost $600,000 from the Ontario government from the Skills Development Fund will help bring this important program to light. As the Dean of Engineering, I've been incredibly proud to see firsthand the commitment that McMaster University places on sustainability in myriad ways through our facilities and through our teaching and learning. This new certificate only strengthens these efforts. Through our Walter G. Booth School, we have a strong reputation for offering high-quality certificate programs designed to upskill our workforce and meet the needs of employers who require advanced, modern skills. I'd like to recognize Greg Zilberbrand and Florent Lefroy-Schlick for their leadership in developing certificate programs and being at the forefront of this emerging area. This funding will transform our training into paychecks for our neighbors in Hamilton, the Golden Horseshoe, and across Ontario. The funds will allow us to expand our offerings to a wider range of learners and further entrench our reputation as a top university that values innovative approaches to education, but also provides access to it. So thank you very much for your confidence and support for our efforts and potential.
We'll go to the phone lines for questions. A reminder, if you do have a question, please press *1.
Once again, for those on the phone, if you have a question, please press *1 now.
Seeing as there are no questions, thank you everyone very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for the support.
Thank you very much.